Good morning. Greetings from Gibraltar aboard Costa Pacifica. We just arrived at the ferry terminal here a few minutes ago, and we now have an 11:30 a.m. scheduled easyJet flight to London, getting ready to depart. The runway takes up the entire peninsula, east to west here, just south of the border with Spain. And so the territory's main north-south road crosses the runway. I was watching buses and cars and trucks and even pedestrians crossing the runway until a few minutes ago when it was closed, and it looked like a street sweeper went out to sweep for any debris and check the runway. And now the easyJet plane has been given clearance to take off. One of the few international airports in the world with a highway crossing the runway. Definitely a unique situation here in tiny Gibraltar. The second easyJet I've seen take off. As we were pulling in, there was a flight to Bristol, England that was departing, and at the terminal now there are two more flights to London that will be departing in the next in the next 1 second. In the case of that easyJet, that's also bound for London. And then the British Airways, I think it's an Airbus A320 behind there, that also goes to London at 12 noon. It's currently 11:42. So there are only 5 flights a day out of this airport, and 4 of them depart within 1 hour between, I guess it's within an hour and a half, between 11 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. So I guess, they have reopened the road for a few minutes, as you can see here, crossing the runway, until the next easyJet has taxied and is ready for takeoff. I've seen this unique airport on a TV documentary, so it's cool to get to watch it up close and personal here. And as I might have mentioned earlier, this is the only part of the United Kingdom where traffic moves on the right side of the road, as it is in continental Europe, and the border with Spain is just to the north of the airport. And of course, Spain, as with everywhere else in continental Europe, drives on the right. So here in Gibraltar, you drive on the right even though you're in a UK territory. So another very unusual circumstance here. The border is just on the north side of the cove there. So those buildings and the McDonald's and Burger King we're looking at, those are in Spain, and the border is right in there somewhere. And there you see a bunch of pedestrians crossing the runway now. And I think that's the yellow street sweeper getting in position. That will probably have to make another sweep before the next easyJet is ready to move on the runway. Yeah, it looks like it's starting to sweep now. And they're probably moving the final people off the runway and getting ready to close it down for the next departure. And I'll restart this once, let's see, we'll take a look at the sweeper in action again. And once the next easyJet is ready for departure, we'll rejoin you here. Okay, 11:50, the second easyJet flight is rolling on the runway now here at Gibraltar. One of these goes to London Luton and the other one to London Gatwick. And then the British Airways jet you see there at the terminal, that goes to London Heathrow, and that will be departing shortly. Well, my shore excursion is meeting in about 55 minutes, so I should go get all of my batteries charged here and grab some lunch and get ready for my trip to the top of the rock. Good afternoon, it's 2:20 p.m. Today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2019. Here at the entrance to the Great Seas Tunnels in Gibraltar, and a wonderful view looking north on the peninsula here. This is the Gibraltar International Airport runway. Although it's called an international airport, the only scheduled commercial flights are to the United Kingdom. So I don't know if those are still technically considered international since it's from a territory to the mother country or not. But no scheduled international flights to any other nations that I'm aware of. Just 5 flights a day with easyJet and British Airways from here to London and Bristol and Manchester, from what I've seen on the schedule. Now this is the interesting thing about Gibraltar. The runway takes up the entire width of the peninsula here at the northern just beyond the runway is the Spain. So if I can zoom in enough, there you can see the flag of Spain flying there, and that's the border control station there. So the traffic, as it comes in from Spain, has to cross the runway to get into the main part of Gibraltar here. And you can see the signs here, field ahead, no stopping, there's traffic lights, and you can see the lights there. Taking off and landing. But there are lanes marked across the one-way, 2 looks like 2 each way for vehicles, 1 for cyclists and 1 for pedestrians. So very unique. Looks like we have the Royal Air Force Gibraltar base here at the airport. There is the lanes here right now. The next one is British Airways that comes in from London about 3:30 or so. And then we're looking at Spain here, just past the runway, that's the border zone. And then everything in view now is Spain. Gibraltar is very small, one of the smallest, if not the smallest territory in the world. And looking back over here, we see Costa Pacifica, which I've been on for little more than 2 weeks now, having departed from La Romana in the Dominican Republic. Made stops at 6 islands in the Caribbean, 6 days across the Atlantic. We stopped 2 days ago in Tenerife, Canary Islands, at sea again yesterday. Here in Gibraltar today, April 9th, at sea in the Mediterranean tomorrow, and then the morning of the 11th, the cruise will terminate in Barcelona. Alright, I'm going to go check out these tunnels here, but wanted to show off the fantastic view of Gibraltar, the north section, before I go look at the tunnels.